What's up, everyone? Welcome to the second ever episode of Log On Battle Royale. This is our big mega E3 predictions episode, and it's going to blow your socks off.
It better.
I'm here with at Geek Ivy Rhodes.
Hey.
Is that it?
Giblets.
Yep.
You got it.
And
That's
at
gonna be my catchphrase because I liked it so much.
and at XUserate
Hey.
And I am at AF Drums with two S's because some weirdo that has like one follower and the Twitter egg took the normal one. So
Stinking Twitter egg. They take all the good ones.
they do. They take
Drives me
one.
crazy.
It should
then
be
they
your
just-
goal in life to communicate with him.
Yep. I've tried. I've tweeted at him. I've direct messaged him. Like, are you using that name or what you doing?
Maybe he's listening right now. Maybe.
He's not.
Maybe. Hey, we're talking to you, AF Drums 1S guy.
There's no possible way he's listening.
He's
right
probably dead. I
True.
tried to get in touch with somebody about an account and told them I would pay them money for the account, and they still didn't get in touch with me.
now. Well, that's because they're not.
Wow.
At Nintendo's not going to give you their account. So that's the issue.
At coolest guy ever isn't going to give you his account. Just kidding.
Well, like I said, this is our E3 mega predictions episode. Us three, we're going to go Sony, we got Xbox, we got Nintendo, and then we got everything else. And in my others section, I have the Shenmue 3 of this E3, so stay tuned for that.
Which
I
actually
call
is
mine
Shenmue
bonus
3.
levels.
Bonus levels, that's a good
Ooh.
one.
I called mine. Get this. Others.
That's copyrighted from Lost, so you're going to get in trouble. Now our podcast, we're going to owe NBC so much money. Great job. Really appreciate it. But
ABC.
ABC?
ABC.
ABC. Well, we'll give money to NBC too. They have the office.
The other
They
alphabet.
do.
So before we go any further, on our Twitter at Podcast Log On, our last Twitter poll from our last Battle Royale is finished. The total of 26 whole votes, baby. Woo, party.
And I got 2 of them.
That's
You
better
may-
than 0 votes.
So coming in last place at 8%, Matthew.
Let's do
Or
that math.
Matt
That's
on
2
Twitter.
votes. And I was one of them.
Oh, wow.
Just put that
Me
out
and Ivy tied at 27% apiece.
I actually pushed it hard for a little while there. We were
You
at
did.
28 for a minute.
Honestly, I don't know who voted for me. I checked Twitter one day. I was like, "Hey!" I was like, "I got votes." That made me happy.
It's like our
But-
aunts and uncles, and they're like, I'll
Yeah.
vote for that thing he's on.
They don't have Twitters. I don't think.
Well, I put up a meme that says, if you love Jesus, vote for me. If you don't vote for me, that means you hate Jesus. So I actually got some votes.
So that means
That's
I got
good.
all the devil worshippers votes. So
Clearly, I
vote for
don't
that
love
guy,
Jesus
vote for that.
then, so.
Oh.
And then
man.
coming in at 38%, the winner, Elise, who's not here, but so we can say whatever we want. No, I'm kidding. She is the
cheated.
winner of the first ever Battle Royale.
I know what it was. It's because she said her number one game was Kingdom Hearts. And the Kingdom
true.
Hearts people came out the woodworks to vote
Yep.
for her.
Those
basically
dang Kingdom Hearts people.
All the
Yeah.
Japanese people voted for
That's really racist.
No, we literally talked about how Japanese that game is.
I know. I'm just kidding.
All
I'm
the
kidding.
Minecraft
Trying to make,
people vote for
Hey.
it.
Trying to make it as awkward as possible.
Spitballing on the fly, live on air. That's the battle royale part of it. She has now 1 point, and now we are going to do a poll for each battle royale. Keep track of the score.
Well, if you don't show up for the Battle Royale, then you automatically don't
Yep.
get a point.
And see, the
So-
thing is, the winner gets $1 million, but she's not on the podcast, so I guess she didn't get it. So
If you're not on the battle royale podcast, it's like you're playing Fortnite, but you just don't ever jump. You just straight off the end of the map.
I won Fortnite as Thanos the other night. Just want to throw that out there.
I was in the party when that happened.
I was really excited. I killed him. I silenced him. Yeah.
Does Thanos have a move where he can
he has a
snap
bunch
his
of moves.
fingers and kill half of everybody?
No, but I wish he did, because that'd be awesome. but he does
That
not.
would actually be pretty awesome.
He can jump real high and punch real hard and use a power stone to like shoot beams at people.
Power Stone, like
Pretty
from
cool.
Dreamcast?
Yep. He throws the cartridge or the CD at people.
Oh my god!
Just slings them at them.
That game was
I
great.
just realized that I did not mention that game last time in my favorite games. It probably wouldn't have been in my favorites, but it would have definitely been in my like honorable mentions.
Well, guess what? To start
It
it,
wasn't
and
quite
that might
that
have
close.
put you
Over the top.
over the top on the Twitter poll. You missed the key Power Stone graphic that we were aiming for.
You're right. Okay, E3 Battle Royale.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, at Podcast Log On, we'll put up another poll of who you think has the best E3 predictions. That can be your favorite, or you can vote on who you think's going to be right. Doesn't matter as long as I get the vote. So,
Predict it's going to be me.
yeah,
My
that's
first E3 prediction.
That's at Podcast Log On Twitter. And we're also, our podcasts are on all the podcast platforms, whether it's everything from YouTube to Stitcher, we're there. So go download us, rate us on iTunes if you can, because it helps our podcast get more eyeballs on it. So rate us 5 stars. Don't rate us 1 star, because that won't help us.
Why
If
would
you're going to rate us 1 star, just don't rate us.
Why does a podcast need eyeballs? It needs earballs.
We need all the earballs and the eyeballs. So yes, follow us on there, and we'll get a little saucy. So let's go into this. We're gonna start out with Sony. How it's gonna go is I'm gonna go first, then I forget who was gonna go second, and then someone will go third,
I like it.
and then
Ivey
we're
will
gonna
go
do
second, and I'll go third because I went
That'll
second
work.
last time.
that'll work. And we're gonna do 3 predictions each, and we're just gonna hope that we get them all right. And then we're going to move on to the next one, and so on and so forth. So, I'll start with my first one. Goodness. What do I want to pick here? So many good ones. Okay, let's start out with a zinger. I'm on the Sony stage. I know Square has a conference as well. So, are we going by if it gets announced, or in general, or it has to be like the exact stage? I think it should be exact stage.
Oh, I don't care. If they announce mine, I'm still gonna be happy about it regardless.
All right, well, I'm going to do my first one. On the Sony press conference, they're going to announce the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo that's available today. And everybody goes crazy.
Not today. The day that
That they do their conference.
Right.
Now, the reason I say this is because that doesn't mean that the game's coming out anytime soon. Because they did a demo for Final Fantasy 15 years before the game came out, and they've already had a demo for Kingdom Hearts 3 because I played it. So, and it was just like weather effects. That's all it was. Or something weird like that. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. So I don't think that means the game's going to come out anytime soon. I just think they're going to do some weird demo for Final Fantasy 7 on that.
Totally
Interesting.
possible. I could definitely see that happening.
Better happen.
I think that game's farther out than you think it is.
Oh, I think it's super far out. But I still
don't-
think there's going to be some stupid demo.
I don't know that there will be a demo for that game at all. I mean, the demo would just be part of the game.
Final Fantasy 15's demo was just, you got it when that Final Fantasy Type 0 game came out. If you bought it, it was like two and a half years before Final Fantasy 15 actually came out.
Okay.
And it was just, you like killed a couple people, and then there was a weird boss at the end. It took you like 20 minutes to complete. I think it's going to be something similar to that.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
Next,
Interesting. Oh, Ivy, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought we were doing all 3 in a row, and then okay.
No.
So my predictions are really crazy and probably will never come true, but that's what makes it fun. So
Correct.
I'm gonna go with the one that I think is actually sort of the safest out of all of mine, and I think that Shenmue 3 from the Sony stage will be shown running, and then will be playable in the Sony booth. That's my prediction.
Nice. You know,
I think.
that's good.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you first.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say. I mean, and like running for real, not like this silly demo they did when they announced it. You know, like this is actual gameplay and that kind of thing. And I think they'll have like just like a slice of the game there for the attendees to play on the show floor in the Sony area.
I hope that happens.
I agree. I definitely can see that. On my number one, I actually went with a couple dates, and one of them was Shenmue. And I'm going to go ahead. I know they've said 2018 forever. I'm going to be real specific, and I'm going to say they're going to go March of 2019. To be fair, that's really what I'm hoping for. More so, I think it'd be a better game if they do it in March.
Do you think if it's March 2019, there's been this kind of theme or trend in the past few years of not announcing anything that isn't going to land this year at E3?
I don't think they'll say March 2019.
They may say first quarter.
It might, but even with God of War, they just said 2019.
Right.
They're like, we're not going to give a date until we're absolutely sure, and then next thing you know,
right.
Whenever they announced it this year or 2018 or whatever, wasn't it like 2 months before the game came out where they're like, okay, it's April, whatever. My memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, I do remember some sort of like, when is this game exactly coming? Like they didn't. Yeah, I remember something about that.
So
awesome.
It might pop up and say like 2019 or something.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they not necessarily give it a specific date in March, but I'm gonna go with March. Why not? And then the other one, which I don't think anybody would be surprised of, is Last of Us 2. I think it's gonna get a holiday release date.
Wait, did we just go into our second
nope,
prediction?
That was in my first. I had the only thing in my first prediction was just those 2 dates. That's the whole prediction. It's actually those games getting dates. That is the prediction, if that makes sense.
It lasts like this year?
Yep. Holiday of this year.
I don't think that's happening. Holiday next year.
I don't think it's that far out. I'm going to say holidays of this
but
year.
it is.
So, and you may be absolutely right, and I'm going to be upset if it is.
I'm right. I talked to all of them. Just got off the phone with them.
I talked to
Neil Druckmann,
Mr. Dog from Naughty Dog, and he said,
Mr. Dog.
Well, I talked to Mr. Naughty, and he said that dog's on drugs, and shouldn't listen to anything that he says.
But yeah, so my prediction is those 2 dates. I'm going to go holiday this year for Last of Us 2 and Shenmue 3 March of next year.
All right.
Andrew?
I'm not going to get to my Shenmue prediction. Probably. Depends on if y'all take any of my other ones.
Sorry, man.
I really hope that Shenmue is this year. And that's one of those games where it really doesn't matter when it comes out. It's going to sell exactly what it's going to sell. It could come out in the heat of everything, or it could come out all by itself. I don't think it really matters.
Well, I disagree a little bit. For all the people that know Shenmue and love Shenmue, I agree with that. But if it comes out holidays of this year and gets an average score of 55 on Metacritic, still Shenmue fans are all still going to buy it. But that's the only people that's going to buy it. If it comes out, whenever it comes out, and it's like, wow, this is incredible, whatever, 89 score on Metacritic, you're going to have people try that game that would not have played it if it was
possibly. I think a lot of that just depends on whenever Shenmue 1 and 2 comes out as well. Because nobody's just going to hop into the third game. Well, some
they've
people
announced
will,
a date for Shenmue 1 and 2.
Like an actual date?
I'm almost positive. I'll look while you're
please do.
Doing
I don't
things.
think it's been an actual date. I just think it's available.
I looked it up and I
everywhere.
thought it said an actual date.
Okay, so my second one, what we're going to do here. What are we going to do? I'm trying to pick the ones that I have a higher probability of actually coming true rather than my crazy ones. So I want to win. I plays to win the game.
You play to win the game.
Oh,
real
October 2018. Yep.
According to PSU.com, it says Simply Games has the release come out September 28th.
Alrighty. Well, my second prediction will be that Days Gone will get a release date of sometime October 2018.
When was its original release date? Because I know it was delayed.
I have no idea. I think its original release date was like last year, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that, but
Yeah. Does that game look interesting to you?
It looks interesting. That's why I don't think. That's one of the reasons I don't think Last of Us will come out this year, even if it was ready. They're completely different games, but it's still Zombies.
I think so. But I think visually they look similar, and I think people just seeing it will think it might be the same game.
Yeah, but
put confusion into the marketplace.
I mean, it looks fine. How I feel about it, but just the way Sony's been coming out with their exclusives, I'll play it.
Yeah,
I might.
I'll probably give it a try.
That's a God of War situation for me, where if I'm gonna wait and see how it reviews before I decide if I'll play it or not.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. I think it's a God of War. God of War situation. Not that it's going to be a 95 on Metacritic, but just it's going to come out and be really good because that's what Sony does now. So.
Yeah, they've had a lot of good games in a row for sure. They don't release trash.
Nope.
So definitely. I mean, unless the reviews are complete garbage, I will probably at least give it a rent. So.
Well, I didn't think it was going to come out this year.
I still do.
But Game Informer, that's like their cover game this month, and they showed the first hour of the game on their website. So I'm like, it's got to be close to being done then if all this is happening.
Yeah,
interesting.
So.
Okay, cool. That's a good one.
Last of Us Holiday 2019. That's not my prediction. I'm just saying.
I was about to say, I
think you're
actually
right.
think that's gonna.
So my next prediction is a non-prediction. Really kind of throwing a wrench in everything.
Just not what
I think
this game
there will
is.
be. Well, you'll see.
I'm
You'll
just
see.
kidding. I'm kidding.
My
Game without a
prediction
wrench?
is that Ratchet and Clank. No. My prediction is that there will be no PlayStation VR in Sony's presentation at all.
It's a good one.
Wow.
I'm it's kind of similar to another one I had, and I thought about putting that in as well. Because the way these Sony conferences go is, I mean, if it's similar as the last 10 conferences that they've done, not just E3, it's just going to be game trailers back to back to back for an hour, and then we're going to be done. I don't think there's going to be a lot of sitting down or standing there and talking numbers or, well, VR's done this, and this, and we're going to do this, and this. So unless they have a big VR game coming out that they're just going to put a trailer for, like Resident Evil 8 or something.
Well, I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I can see that happening.
I feel like VR has not taken off like they wanted it to. I think it sold pretty well in the beginning, but I just don't feel like it's taken off like they wanted it to. And in a lot of ways, Switch took over the narrative that VR kind of had control of, because VR was the new thing, and then along comes the Switch and kind of takes everybody's mind off of that. I just think it's one of those things like when PlayStation Move was around, there came a time when they were just like, they just ignored it like it didn't.
Yeah.
Well, they have games, and they've sold more than Vive and Oculus combined.
Oh yeah.
So as far as just VR goes, they're winning. Mm-hmm. So, and they have games like they had Impatient just came out, and they still have. I think they pretty much did all their VR stuff at PSX. So like the bigger AAA-esque VR games have already been announced, so I don't think they're going to have anything else really.
And maybe the only the thing going forward is the reason that they would still kind of stay behind it. I hear you that like I think that they've sold more than the rest. I get that. I just feel like it doesn't have the cultures. I feel like VR kind of died a little bit in terms of like the cultural excitement for it. It's like you hear about it, but it's kind of like niche. Like people will talk about it that talk about things like VR, but you just don't hear it around.
Yeah.
Just so anyway, I just think it's something
when
that's gonna maybe think about the future. Anyway,
yeah.
Go ahead.
When it came out, Shu said like this is like their PlayStation 1. So I don't think we're gonna get another PSVR until probably a year after whatever the next PlayStation is. So I think we're a ways off of them actually like talking about VR, but I don't think they've given up on VR. Completely.
We'll see.
But I agree that there probably won't be any VR talk for this E3.
I hope that you're right, but I don't think that you are. I think they should. I don't know. I think the VR thing was just kind of like you said. It was just kind of a flash in the pan. Really, something that was like, ooh, this is cool, and it is cool. It's just not something I want to do when I want to sit down and play video games all the time. You know. And
yeah, this sounds crazy, but it's, for me at least, it's too expensive.
absolutely.
Like,
I agree.
it's a peripheral that I use on a few games, and you want me to drop, I can't even remember. I tried to buy it one time. It's like 300, is it? And that's not even expensive for a VR set.
Oh, that's super
Like
cheap.
300 or
for one.
400.
Yeah.
And then you get outside of PlayStation, and it's at least that much. Plus, you got to have a computer to run it.
Well,
Right,
the
yeah.
Oculus Go just came out and it's wireless and blah blah blah. It's $200, but
And-
it's basically a higher end version of what you can just get like Google Cardboard or something.
Correct. Now,
Sure.
So
This
we're
is-
just a ways off from it being completely wireless and being fun and good.
well, this is actually my number 2 written down. I can take a picture and send it to you, and it fits perfect, which is why I was quiet until recent. My number 2 announcement is I think that they will announce some sort of wireless version of their VR. I think
that could be,
I don't think
that
they
could be
should,
cool.
but I think they will. I'm with you, Ivy. I hope that they do what you said, but I think that's one of those things that they've put so much money into it already that they're not done with that. You know what I mean? They just want to continue to see where that goes, and they have, like Andrew said, they have sold very well compared to every other VR.
I'll look
out
it up.
there. But I will say I do think the next thing that needs to happen with VR is it needs to be wireless, because wires all over the place is just not fun.
Yeah, the
So,
wires are a
yeah.
bit much.
Yeah, and the wires really, really hurt you when it comes to games that require you to turn around or do something. They would give themselves a lot more freedom in making games if they made it wireless. So I think they will have some sort of just wireless version of what they already have basically announced. That's what I'm
So
going
as
for.
of December 7th, 2017, Sony sold 2 million PSVR units.
Yikes.
which is not
That's
bad,
not great. No.
That's not great.
but it's 300 a pop.
70 million, what is it? 70, 100 million PlayStation 4s? It's somewhere
Sure.
between there.
That's not great, but in the VR realm, I remember when they had sold 1 million PSVR units like a year or a year and a half ago, whenever it was. That Vive and Oculus had only sold combined like 600 something thousand, and the PSVR had been on the market like way less time and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
And I totally understand why. I feel like VR is just, it's
but that's a $600
it's going to have to take a big
right?
step. And so maybe when they go wireless or something like that, maybe that does kind of boost it.
yeah.
But I feel like that price has to come down before I'm going to drop some.
Well, it's
point
funny you say
I don't
that.
disagree.
I agree. The wires are a bit much. But when I was googling the sales or whatever, it just came up. First thing is PlayStation VR bundles now starting at $199. So
Oh.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know they had dropped the price again. Yeah. But yeah, the wires are a bit ridiculous. PSVR in general is fun. I just think it was those first 3 lines of VRs that came out was just okay. Well, let's put them in the wild for 5 years and see what happens.
Yeah,
and gather
sure.
data
Right.
and blah, 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 blah. So I still think we're a ways off before Wave 2 comes and
Right.
it's cool again. Or
Well, that
whatever.
is probably around $500 million or so they've made off of it, because I think it was a little cheaper than 300, or at least it was 300 for a while. Which, if you
Yeah, well,
sold
then
2
they had
million
that
for
huge
price.
snag where they were like, they couldn't make them for whatever reason.
Right.
They sold out initially, and then they basically had the Switch problem, which was
Right.
like, well, but there's the demand, but we can't make them
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason. So, and then they got them out again. So,
Yeah,
but
and I'm with Ivy on the reason that I don't have one is I think it's a cool little thing, but I'm not going to spend that kind of money on a peripheral. But I would say the 2 million people that have already bought a VR, I'd say half of those people would buy a wireless one if they came out with it, because they're
yeah, if they came out with the same thing that it is right now, just wireless, and it's $200, game over.
yeah. I mean, even if it was 300, I would say half of those 2 million would probably go buy it, just because I mean that's not a problem for most of those people, you know.
But again,
Yeah,
I think go ahead.
I was going to say, I watch a YouTube channel called Tested a lot, It's owned by the guy that did MythBusters, Adam Savage. Anyway, so they do a lot of VR headsets on there. And they say the main issue with wireless VR headsets is that it's the transfer of data. Mm-hmm. Like they can't transfer the data without lagging and all that kind of thing when it's wireless. So they have to overcome that. I think if Sony was to do that this time, I think it would blow everyone in the VR world's minds that it had been done.
I agree.
Well, so.
But I think if that's going to happen, that's where it happens. You know, out of all the other VR places, I think Sony's the one who makes it happen somehow.
Well, they are the they make hardware. That's what they do.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I agree with Ivy that it won't be talked about, because if they were going to announce something like that, they would have to come out and they would actually announce it. It wouldn't just be a trailer or something. They would talk about it, and that's more of like a GDC thing or something. So I don't think, unless there's a VR game or a game that's compatible with VR, I don't think they talk about it at all. But
interesting.
I hope you're right. My third one here. Oh man, what am I going to do for my last one? It's got to be something epic. It's got to be like bonus point. It's a bonus round or something. All right, I'm going to go with that they show a PS5 teaser trailer. Kind of do what Xbox did with the X, where they're like, next E3, we're going to talk about the Xbox One X. So I'm thinking they're going to do like a PS5 teaser saying like, we have new hardware or something. Come back E3 2019. Lights off.
Yeah, could be. That would kind of annoy me though. But it could be. I could see it happening. The only thing is it's selling so stinking well still.
Yeah, it is.
And so I could see Microsoft doing it before I see PlayStation doing it. But yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe. I mean, it's possible. Yeah. Or they do a PS4 Pro 2 or something. I don't know what they call it, but
Mega Pro.
Mm-hmm. Mega Pro.
Uber Pro.
Because I do think that Death Stranding is going to be a PS5 game. And I think that if The Last of Us 2 is long enough, it'll be like PS4 and PS5. Like it'll end up coming out like that. But
I still think we're a ways away from PS5 personally.
Yeah, 2019 December is like the earliest I think it would ever possibly come out, and that's the only reason I wrote it down.
I'm thinking 2 more years past that.
It could be.
When did it release? What year did it release? PlayStation 4?
2013, I think.
13. Well,
we'll see.
Well, 2019, 2020 would make sense. Anyway, okay, sure. It's possible. Definitely possible. My next prediction is my favorite. Can I go on to my next prediction?
Yeah.
Do it.
All right. This is I would like this. Sony reveals a PS1 classic console in the vein of what Nintendo has already been doing.
I would like that.
I can see that. That's a good one.
That would be really cool, and I'd be down with it. I would totally buy it, especially if it was like $100 or like $80 to $100.
Like money. If you like money, that's what you do. All Nintendo's done is just made money.
Yeah, exactly. Put some really great old PlayStation 1 games on it. Man, I'd be all over that. I actually played PlayStation 1 more than I played N64 back in the day. But anyway, so I'd love it.
By the way, going back to that last thing, PS4 was launched in 2014.
You're a liar. November 2013.
It was announced. Announced in February. Gotcha. November 5th, 2014. Gotcha.
I told you. You're a liar. That's why I only had 8% votes.
No, I was talking about Europe, South America, and Australia.
So yeah, it's been Japan. It's been a long time then. So if it came out in 2020, that's 7 years. It's hefty. 6 years in 2019. I don't know, but yeah.
How long was the PlayStation 3 out?
8 years. I think both of those were in 8 years, but
I think they're sticking. I think it'll stay to that. I think my guess is announcement in 2020 and release in 2021. But I could see before that.
Is that your third one? Huh?
No. Yeah, my E3 announcement for 2020.
Yeah.
What was yours again, Ivey? You said it. And I
PS1 Classic.
PS1 Classic console.
Yeah, I could totally see that. And that'd be a smart move on their part, I think. I would not get it. I'd never
be all over it.
I played some PS1.
Depends on what games are on it.
But PS2 that's really the games that I really, really loved. anything that was PS1 that I liked was a lot of that was during the Dreamcast time for me. You know. Is
The
that
only
right?
reason I think that I think that's smart, and there's more likely for them to do that than not to do that. I think the only reason that they wouldn't do it is because they are super happy right now about just remaking those games and throwing them on PlayStation 4. So
That's true. But the thing, you can do the Nintendo thing, and you can just release one of those consoles and then also sell the games.
yeah,
And then they both sell.
that'd be a cool way to announce another remake too. Is to show it on the PS1 Classic and then be like, and then blah 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 blah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's possible.
Who
I
knows?
like that. That's a good one, Ivy. It's a
All right,
good
Matthew,
one.
give us your third and final prediction, boy.
My third and final prediction is that you will see at the Sony press conference a BioShock 4 teaser trailer with it saying just at the end of it 2019. I don't think it'll come
Made
out till
by-
the end of 2019.
Who do you think it'll be made by? This is the bonus question.
Naughty Dog.
No.
Oh, that sounds good.
No, it's
Anything they make has to be
Well,
good.
they're not doing Uncharted anymore.
It's still
They got it at something
2K
else.
still does it, man. I don't think 2K would not do it. Right? That's who
Well,
makes
I
BioShock,
think it's
right?
2K, but it's not going to be irrational. 'Cause
Oh, I
they-
see what you're saying. 2K just puts it out. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah. I think it is in the works. I think they still own the rights to it, and they said they were going to do another game. But it'll probably be a different game altogether because none of the original people will be working on it
I
because they kind
think
of all got fired after Infinite.
in order for it to work well, I think you're going to have to go prequel with it. I just think you'd have to, almost even go back to when Rapture was still somewhat functional,
They kind of did that in the DLC, though.
They did in the DLC. I agree.
Yeah.
But
I could see that. Well, I think you could go way back because the story of Infinite, spoiler alert, is that it's been going forever.
yeah,
So I think you could go way back. Like you could do something really old. I don't know.
the
I don't know
start of Rapture
how
kind of
old.
stuff.
I'm talking like before any of that. So, because the story of Infinite is that there's always a city and there's always a dictator and there's all, you know what I'm saying? Like that's, they go back to that
Yeah.
kind of, these are all the things that happen in these lighthouses or the different iterations of it. Or they go way in the future, one or the other. Both of those could work.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyway,
Yeah,
I like the idea of a one way in the past though.
I can
think
see that.
best.
I can see that. I just think they got to stick with Rapture. I just think that's the bread and butter of the series. Like the storylines have been great, but the whole just Rapture as a whole, the whole setting is awesome, and it's different than any other game, So
Well,
yeah. I think that we've explored Rapture a lot because we've explored it in 2 games and then the DLC for Infinite. And so they'd have to do something that really caught
they would. That's true.
my attention.
That's very true.
well, I have 2 more, so these won't count, but I just want to say them real quick. And then if y'all have any more, you can just say them. But I had, in case any of mine were taken, I was going to say no Shenmue, Final Fantasy VII, or Death Stranding mentions at all, in case everything's just going to get pushed back. And then I had a new Ninja Gaiden game would be announced, but
Totally for the Shenmue, that's originally what I had. And then I was like, that's way too safe because I think that's what's actually going to happen. So I said they're going to show it and it'll be playable.
No, I think Shinmu's there in some way, shape, or form.
anybody else think have any extras?
Not that I want to mention right now.
Yeah, I'm good.
Alright. Well, then let's go on to Xbox, which is the one I have the most for
Microsoft.
because
And also the one I know the least about.
Same.
because I think Sony has their crap together as they have for the last 3 or 4 E3s. And so Xbox is the one where, if anything, third party that's big that they want on a stage, and if they can't get Sony because Sony already has their stuff, they have enough of their own stuff to worry about. I think it'll be on Xbox's stage. So I'll go with my first one here. I'm gonna do this one because everybody's been talking about like, oh, there's gonna be a Halo 6 teaser or whatever, and there might, and maybe have that one written down. But
All right.
I think what's more likely than a Halo 6 is a Halo Master Chief Collection, like a huge update to that. So with like Halo 3 gets remastered and gets the whole remastered treatment with the multiplayer and the story and all that, and then they have just a bunch of updates on, because it's still like the servers still suck since launch. So there's a whole thing of like servers are better, Halo 3 is remastered, you're getting all these events, blah, 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 and just kind of blow that up rather than there actually being a Halo 6 anything. So
I would say that would be a smart move. That's why I don't think it'll happen.
well, everybody hated Halo 4 was and then everybody hated Halo 5. So I just think being like, well, here's Halo 6 and it's just another game is kind of a mistake right now, unless they actually do it right, but they haven't been, so I don't know why they would. So I think if you just go back and remake Halo 3, which is a bunch of people's favorites, and they can get on there and actually play with friends and it be updated graphics and updated controls and whatever, I think that'd be really awesome, and a lot of people would like that.
It's a smart move. That would be the smart move.
Yeah. Well,
see.
my number one Microsoft prediction is in the vein of Microsoft being a disappointment to everyone. They're going to reveal a new Gears of War game, but it's going to be turn-based, a turn-based strategy game.
That would be awesome.
That would actually make me want to play it.
I've never played a Gears of War game really, but I'd play that one.
So, well, think of it like it could be mobile, but no. What I was thinking of is like it's already over the shoulder shooter, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking something like oh my gosh, Mario and Rabbids. But what's the alien game that Mario and Rabbids kind of
XCOM.
steals from?
XCOM.
XCOM. Yeah, you could do something like XCOM. It would actually be pretty cool, but I think Gears of War fans would be furious. I think it would make them so angry.
I agree.
But I think it'd be pretty cool. And they did that with Halo back in the day, remember? Mm-hmm. They announced the new Halo game, and it was...
Halo... what was that
I
game
can't
called?
even remember. I just remember people being so angry about that in the moment. I think it turned out to be a pretty good game.
It was.
But they're like, what?
It was.
Anyway.
Well, the thing is, it's a good game, but it's not a game for hardcore Halo 3 fans or whatever. You know,
Right.
it's a different group of people you're hitting.
Yeah.
But it's possible. I mean, they did like the whole Halo Wars thing, so they could maybe do something.
That's what it was.
like that with.
That's
Gears.
right. Yep.
So-
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd actually think that'd be really interesting. I'd never buy it because I don't have an Xbox, but
That's why I said mobile.
Well, it would be on PC too, so there you go.
That's true. Yeah, I would love something like that. Like I said, on mobile, then I wouldn't have to buy an Xbox ever because, why would you buy an Xbox right now? So,
Hello.
Yep.
so much
That's a good
Xbox
one.
hate over here.
I know. Well, we'll stick with the game announcements on my side, and I know there's been a lot of rumors for a Fable 4.
That's one of mine. You stealing McPants.
I am going to say they will announce a Fable game that is not Fable 4. They'll go out of the box a little bit, whether it be some sort of, I don't know if it necessarily be an online multiplayer game.
Let me stop.
or
Let me stop
something.
you there because you're wrong. Because they already tried to do that and it already got canceled. With Fable Legends or whatever that piece of crap game was
Right.
called, they even had gameplay and they're like, well, nobody wants this and it sucks, so let's cancel it. But I do think, I don't know if it'll be called Fable 4. I put down Fable 4 on mine. But I don't know if it'll be called that or if it'll be a reboot or whatever. But I think it'll be like a legit Fable game.
Let me say, this is what I had written down. I had these words: Fable game, not necessarily Fable 4. So I just think they might do something a little different. Not crazy different. Not let's make it just in a Fable world. It's crazy, but a different kind of gameplay feel than what the other Fables have been.
Fable
Well-
1X.
If they just remade Fable 1, it'd be the best exclusive they had.
True.
Hey,
Um,
that's a good prediction. Remastered Fable 1.
It could happen. See, I'm trying to stay optimistic, but I do every year, and every year Xbox lets me down. So
That's why I'm not optimistic with them.
this year they're like, well, since Phil Spencer taken over, they've been somewhat better, but they still have been
Have
stupid
they?
Xbox. They have been. Oh, believe you me. He wasn't the one. He wasn't in charge when they announced the thing. in that whole fiasco.
Oh my
They
gosh.
they let him in charge way after. So
I guess I
it's
don't know.
gotten somewhat better, but at the same time, their problems is the game's problem.
They announced the Xbox basically as a $400. Is that how much it was? 400.
I think
I think
so.
it's 500.
Whatever.
It was
500.
$499 because PS4
$500
$399.
Netflix machine is essentially what they announced it as. I
Yep.
remember that. I was like, why do I ever? Why, I don't care about watching TV on my Xbox.
Will they announce a more expensive, more powerful one again? I'm just kidding.
No.
$900.
$9 million.
Xbox One Z.
Did you say something, Andrew? You got your second?
Oh, my second one. Okay, for my second one, I think this Avengers game that's been teased for the last couple of years will be shown in some capacity on the Xbox stage. That's one of those games where, as like I said, Sony has their plate already full. So if it was to be on a big stage, it'd be the Xbox stage. So I think Xbox is going to be our first glimpse of that Avengers game.
I forget who is rumored to be making that, or who is making that. Do you know?
I think there's a couple of different people that are involved, but I think Ubisoft is the one that's doing the actual Avengers one.
Okay.
I'll look it up.
Cool.
But it could,
Interesting.
like I said, it could be on the Ubisoft stage, but even if it is, I think if it's one of the major three, then it would be Xbox would be the ones that would win that one.
Yeah, Avengers is kind of a big deal these days.
Avengers game. We'll see what or who's supposed to be making this.
I like that. That is something that would slot in, I think, to Microsoft's press conference.
All right.
Cool.
So my second prediction, again in the way of disappointment, is going to be they're going to release a small update to the Xbox One controller. A small update. But they will blow it out with videos and close-up shots. And people will be like, what? That's my prediction.
Just a clarification: Square Enix is the people that were doing the Avengers game, so
Interesting.
I think it'll be on the Xbox stage. But yeah, I can like everything Ivy says is I can 100% see happening because I've seen it in the last 4 years.
I know, I've watched them all too. I watch every single one of
And
them.
but the thing is, like, it's been 4 years, and like Halo 5 and Gears of War 4 is all that they've had for 4 years, unless you count indie games. So it's just like somewhere somebody had to be making some game.
Probably. Well, they're making that what's the pirate game that
Sea of
Rare's
Thieves?
making? Sea of Thieves. Yeah.
But I just like, do they not? If they don't come out this E3 and have something, what a disaster. Even every year they don't have something, it's an even bigger disaster.
Well, I have
Sea
this
of
something.
Thieves Battle Royale.
Sea of Thieves is Battle Royale. That's the game.
Oh, is it really?
I mean, you're pirates and you're in open world like with other teams. Like if you
Oh,
hop on and
okay.
play, you're in an online multiplayer game. So I mean,
Oh, okay. But it's not like the little bubbles closing in on you. And okay.
no.
Gotcha.
Yet.
I know, right? Unless the Kraken shows up, then it kind of is.
Prediction.
All right, so
I have not played that game, so I know nothing about the Kraken.
that is the only game other than Forza that I want to play on an Xbox, which is why I don't have an Xbox.
I would agree with that.
So I do think they're going to get one big announcement, and I think this is the one. I don't have any sort of date or any kind of how much information they will show, but I'm going to say that a Borderlands 3 announcement comes there.
From Xbox?
I think so.
Do you think it's exclusive or timed
No,
exclusive
I
or
don't.
anything?
No.
I don't. I don't.
That's my thing too.
I don't think BioShock and Borderlands will be announced at the same conference. So I had to decide how to split them, and I do think there will be some form of announcement of both of those, or some sort of teaser trailer or whatever. So I'm going to say Borderlands 3 is the one that Microsoft gets as an announcement. And like I said, I don't think it'll be any sort of timed exclusive or anything of that nature. I don't think Xbox can get a timed exclusive anymore with the way the sales have gone.
Money. If they can produce money, then they can get one. But they're not going to do it out of good grace.
Yeah, it's got to be a ton of money now.
Exactly.
Because like they've tried it with Tomb Raiders and Call of Duties and all that kind of stuff, but it's just like people won't have to have their games on PlayStation. Like Xbox would have to throw a massive amount of money for it to be an exclusive.
All you be
It would have to be something like, I'm trying to think of something that would even do it. Like they would have to have a year of Call of Duty before PlayStation or something that would actually get people to maybe think about switching.
Because they had that rumor going a couple months back that Xbox or Microsoft was going to buy EA. Like it would have to be something that big, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And
Wow.
and I think, I mean, I just think the whole idea makes no sense. If you say that this game, as much as I want it, is a timed exclusive on Xbox, that tells me still, well, it's not exclusive to Xbox then because it's coming to other stuff. So that still doesn't feel like an Xbox game.
It just pisses people off is what it does.
Yep,
Because
exactly.
I just sit on my PlayStation and I go, dang, I want that game, but I know I won't get it for a year.
But do you?
But I'm gonna wait.
But do you,
I'm
or do
gonna
you
wait.
just play
I'm not-
all the other good Sony games that are out?
Oh no, I'm saying I want that game,
I
but
know.
I'm not going to purchase a new system to buy it if it's timed exclusive.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It would have to be to make a dent in the market. It couldn't be a Borderlands, which is a fairly big game, but it would have to be like one of the massive games. Like, yeah.
No, I agree. And yeah, no, absolutely. It'd take like a Madden or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So we're on my third one.
Yes.
Yeah, but I agree with someone with Matthew. Like, I don't think any of these games are going to be exclusives that I think will be announced.
other than Fable.
Other than Fable, I just think that if there's a person that's making a game and they want it to be on Sony or Microsoft, it's going to be way easier to get it on Microsoft because Sony's got their crap together.
Right. Yeah,
So,
they get they'll have eyes on their new game coming out, and that's what they want.
that's why-
Microsoft needs to fill spots with games. Go ahead. Sorry.
That's why I'm optimistic about Xbox's conference, not because they're going to come out with something exclusive that's going to be awesome, but because there's going to be stuff out there. It's not going to be exclusive, but it'll be announced there.
Right.
Like my third prediction, Rocksteady will announce their Superman game on the Xbox stage.
Interesting.
It's been rumored a little bit. It's been rumored. The heavy rumor is that it's an open world Superman game. I don't know if it's going to be that drastic, but could be. But I think there's about a 5% chance that it might happen. So I've wrote it down.
So
Science, is that scientifically? Did you figure that out? What the sciences?
I did this. I put the sciences in on my phone and ran the calculator to make sure my math was right. And
Yeah. Well, if Rocksteady's working on a Superman game, I would actually be interested. Not because I really like Superman, because I actually don't care about Superman, but because the Batman games are so good. So
yeah. And I don't
would
think
make
it'll be
me
exclusive. I just think it'll be announced. I don't even think timed exclusive anything. I just think it'll be announced there. Maybe Xbox gets a new suit or something. I don't know. An exclusive suit or something. Just for
yeah.
the
it's all
stage. But
green.
Oh,
Yeah.
like a neon green kind of Krypton suit.
Just like what's that soccer team that has Xbox as their sponsor?
That's the Seattle Sounders.
Yeah, just like it's Superman with that jersey on. Because it has
Awesome.
Xbox on it.
Oh, it's just Superman.
There you go, boys. In case you're exclusive.
It's Superman, but it has an Xbox Connect for a head.
There.
That's how he sees.
It's an Xbox exclusive game, but like Kinects are coming down from space and trying to ruin gaming forever. Superman has to go get him, Superman.
Speaking of Kinects, at our Science Museum here in Boston, they have Kinects. It's several of the different things you can do, whatever you call them. I can't even think right now.
Yeah.
Whatever they're called.
Exhibits.
Anyway, and they exhibits. That's the word. Kinects at several of their exhibits, and they use them in really, really cool ways. And so that's the coolest thing I've ever seen from Kinect. So
I'm glad somebody's using it. Not even in cool ways, just using it in general.
they're pretty cool though, really. So my third and final prediction is the only thing that would make me say, "Wow, they really went out and did something cool."
Is
and
WoW,
awesome
World of
and didn't
Warcraft.
suck.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, no. But it is that they are going to go into the hybrid console market where the Xbox is now getting to the point where it can be made portable. I think they could possibly talk about a portable hybrid console in the vein of Nintendo Switch for Xbox.
Wow. That would blow the doors off.
It
Good
would.
or
It would
bad,
really.
it could be really bad.
Yeah, I would.
But it'd still be something.
Well,
It
here's
would be
the
something.
deal.
I think it would get people talking, if nothing else.
Oh, I
still
agree
think
with
it'd be at least a year, maybe a year and a half away.
I think it'd be a fail. But here's the deal with that is that would, to me, that would be, and this may happen. You may not be wrong. That would be conceding the console quote unquote war to Sony and saying, okay, we're competing with Nintendo now, which would kind of be crazy.
It'd be
Especially the way things were, 5-10 years ago.
Then there'd be a gap in the console wars, and Sega would come back and blow the doors.
Boom.
The Dreamcast 2.
Prediction. So no, I think it would be. The reason I think it would be the only thing that would make me interested in the Xbox at this point. And I don't think they're going to announce a new one, but I think that they could. So this would differentiate the market in a sense, like they have their Xbox One X. They have their Xbox One S, and then they could have their Xbox One H.
Go.
No, hybrid, whatever it is. Yeah,
DS.
Go, whatever they call it, whatever. And it could be. I doubt it would be cheaper though. So I was going to say it could be cheaper, but I doubt it would be. It'd probably be just expensive because things getting smaller doesn't make them cheaper. But anyway, I think that would be really cool and be the only thing that made me kind of go,
I agree
might
with
look into
that.
I
Well,
think, but
all they would have to do is announce it and say, hey, Minecraft's going to be on it day one. And they own Minecraft. They'd be like, guess what? Minecraft's only an exclusive now. No, you can't get it anywhere else but right here.
now if they did that, that would make a lot of people angry. Like no updates for Minecraft in any of the consoles, that are out there now. But I think financially it'd be stupid, but I think it would actually help people move to their system.
Yeah. I don't know why it's not exclusive when they bought it, but whatever.
They make too much money. It makes
Weirdos.
so much money outside of Xbox.
Yeah, that's true. Cool. Well, my number 3 prediction is going to be to continue the VR thing because I just really don't think people are done with it. I think they should be, but I think Microsoft has been late to the game on pretty much everything, not just VR, but in this whole
Everything.
yeah, everything. I think they're going to announce is Oculus that they own or whatever.
HoloLens is kind of like their
HoloLens?
AR thing, but when they were talking about the Xbox One X, they were like, Oculus will be a thing, but then they've never spoken about it.
I think they're going to announce their own VR. Now it'll be probably with Oculus. Oculus makes it or whatever, but it'll be the Xbox VR whatever the name ends up being.
Exulus.
The Exulus, yeah. And I think that they'll announce one and they'll make a big VR push and show. I think that Minecraft will be the one for that. That does make sense. But I think just like everything else they come out with, it'll be $100 more than it should be, and I don't know that it'll go over well. But I don't think
It'd
that
be
there's just a lot of stuff they're not. I don't think that they're willing to get left behind, kind of thing. And I think that they'll make a big push and not do well with it. But that is my third and out there prediction. So
Well, like I said, I think when they originally announced the Xbox One X, they said that it'd be Oculus compatible, and they've
Right.
literally not spoken about it since that conference.
correct.
So that is a little strange, and I think if they do if they do that, it'll be like you can only run it on Xbox One X.
I agree. I think so too. Which I think is a mistake, but yeah, I think that even if it's just a Xbox branded Oculus, I think that they'll go with something of that nature.
I can see that.
Yeah.
happening.
So I could see it with the Oculus. I don't see, in maybe branding it with the Xbox. I don't see them creating their own at this point. I just don't feel like VR doesn't have the right momentum. It's not going in the right direction. But I could see them incorporating Oculus for sure.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I don't think it's a good idea. part of that is why I think they'll do it. So
Right.
I can see them at least, if not branding Oculus, then just kind of coming in cooperation and using, whatever.
Yeah.
It's Xbox, the Xbox VR, whatever, in what's the word I'm looking for? In something with Oculus. You know what I mean? Like in cooperation
Partnership
with Oculus.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
See, I think that would actually be a pretty smart move because I think the Xbox One X, even as expensive as it is a relatively inexpensive PC to play VR with. So,
I agree.
you know what I'm
I agree with
saying?
that. Yep.
So I think like if people are going to get into it, they're like, oh, well, I could do this. This would actually be a cheaper option. So anyway.
Well,
True.
It would be. I've worked at Best Buy before, and that's what would happen is there would be an Oculus rep would come in and sit there with the Oculus and show people, and people that have never tried VR before would go on there and they'd try it and they'd be like, "This thing is freaking awesome." They're like, "How much is it?"
It costs
Like, "Oh,
the
it's
same as a car.
$600." And like, "Oh, well, that's expensive, but I mean, maybe." And then would you have a PC that runs it? And they're like, "No." Like, "How much is that?" It's like, "Well, we can put everything together. $2,500. You good to go." And then I get a hold of them, like, "You have a PS4?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "They're VR over here. It's not as good as the Oculus, but it's the same thing. They have better games anyway." $399. Boom.
There you go.
Out the
$3.99.
door they go. So I think it'd be smart for Xbox and smart for Oculus to do that because people
There you go.
already have Xbox One X's and nobody's buying Oculuses now. So
And you could make a quote unquote even dumbed down version if you want to sell, brand it as a Xbox, in partnership with Oculus and sell it for $200 or whatever, like PlayStation's doing. And maybe it's not quite as powerful as the all-out, the full of what Oculus has on the market right now. But I think that Nintendo's proven over years and years of time that games sell, fun sells, not necessarily graphics.
yeah.
So
And I'm telling you, the Oculus, I've tried them both. I've tried Oculus quite a bit too.
mm-hmm.
The Oculus is way better than PSVR.
Right.
But PSVR, Oculus has like no game. I don't think there's a single game on there that I was like, man, that looks cool. I want to play that.
Right.
But you go over to the PlayStation section and you see Resident Evil and Batman and all these games, and you're like, that'd be pretty cool.
Wait,
So
doesn't Microsoft have their own VR called Vive?
that is,
I don't think, I could be wrong. I don't think that's Microsoft's.
hold on, let me look it up.
The reason I say that is because I know that I played it at the Microsoft store. That's the only time I've ever done VR in my life, and it was at the Microsoft
It's
store.
the HTC Vive.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
okay.
But yeah, like Oculus and Vive are both on like if you go to the mall or whatever and you
Yeah.
have a Microsoft store, they're usually both there just because
Gotcha.
you have to have a PC to use them, so they just kind of team up.
Interesting.
That'd be cool. I can see
Cool.
them doing it.
Is there anything else y'all wanted to shout out Microsoft-wise before we leave? Because I just thought of one.
I have some shout outs. I almost put this one in the PlayStation one and almost actually said it, but I didn't. But I had it on Xbox one. I was going to say, they come out and say, Fortnite and Rocket League are both crossplay with PS4 and Xbox now, and everybody it's like, woo. But I think
don't think it'll
PS4 would be the one that would actually do that because they're the ones that are holding everybody up, and they want to be the ones to announce it and look cool.
I don't think they'll do it.
I don't
think
either.
they should either, if I'm honest.
And then I was really getting high hopes and said there'd be 3 brand new AAA exclusives, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But
What,
that's
Titanfall 4?
just, like something I would like brand new IP.
I know, I'm kidding.
And then my other one was Halo 6 teaser, which is possible, I guess.
Okay.
But that was it.
Well, there's a recent announcement, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, about there's going to be, I guess Valve is going to allow you to stream Steam games from your computer to mobile. I think that you could see that at Microsoft, allow you to stream Steam games from your computer to the Xbox.
I just think anything like what you just said, or if PS4, all the consoles were doing crossplay, anything like that, I think would be at the Xbox one, because they're more likely to get up on stage and talk for 15 minutes about whatever. Whereas Sony's just going to do trailers for an hour back to back and be done. So
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think this will be Xbox exclusive. I don't think this would be PS4. I think you'd be able to stream to your Xbox. But that's just throwing it out there. That doesn't mean that'll
totally
happen.
sounds like something that would
Right?
be an Xbox thing. Yeah, it totally does.
Especially knowing that they just announced that being a mobile thing. You could, if you can do it on mobile, surely you can do it on the Xbox.
What if So the Steam machine, this is a prediction I didn't have down, but the Steam machine was a disaster, pretty much.
Yeah.
What if they said your whole Steam library is available on the Xbox One?
That'd be awesome. And you could easily incorporate that to what I just said too. You could do all that in the same announcement, and that would be a you'd have a lot of PC people, I think, pick up an Xbox for that reason.
That would be huge too, because Valve is in it to publish games again.
Yep.
And they could Valve could come out and be like, "This is Xbox exclusive," to be big for them.
Yep.
So,
and that seems to me like something that Microsoft could do to say, okay, this is something different that nobody else is doing to get eyes back on us.
I agree.
Not chasing something else.
It would have to be something like that. It has to be something massive.
Why aren't we running Xbox right now? That's all I'm saying.
I don't know.
Here's a better question. Why aren't we talking about Nintendo? Because
anybody else have any more Xbox before we move on?
no, that's the most Xbox I've talked in years.
Yep. I think at the end of the day, there'll be like one cool thing, and then it'll just be disappointments. But we can
Agreed.
Freaking Nintendo doing their, I forget the dates. I should have written down the dates that they were all doing their stuff, but it's all 11th through the 13th or whatever, sometime around then.
Something like that.
My first Nintendo prediction. I have a bunch of these.
We're gonna have a lot of the same ones.
Here we are. I'm gonna go with what would be my favorite one first, and probably somewhat likely one. New Pokemon RPG. It's 8th generation, completely new generation. It's not Alola, go and do your trials or whatever. It's your 8 badges, 8th gen RPG coming out November 2018.
I literally have written down for my number 2 projection, Pokemon, November 2018.
Oh, you cheated.
Wow.
But
that's just when they come out with them. They've come out with them in November for forever. So.
I did write down, I think it'll still be a top-down, same as it has been. I don't think they're going to improve graphically like crazy unless they improve maybe during battles, the graphic stuff. But during the gameplay stuff, I mean, it's higher res and things of that nature. But I don't think they're going to go third person like some people have talked about. Anything crazy like that. Yeah. I think it's going to be more.
The newer ones aren't necessarily top down. It's kind of it's like diagonal. In between top down and third person.
Right.
I agree that I don't think it's going to be that big of a graphical jump or gameplay jump like it should be, like everybody wants it to be. Mm-hmm. But I still think it'll still be pretty cool. The Pokemon people will be happy.
And I think that whatever the next Pokemon game is, however, in the future, will be a big graphical jump.
Yeah, I hope.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Well,
I'm just going to say that was mine then. That was my number 2. But, Andrew,
my number 1, so suck it.
Okay.
I don't disagree with you. I think that could be possible. I feel like they need a big holiday release, and I think Pokemon would be like it. I mean, the world would probably melt down.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right. Well, and then there's already. I don't. We'll get there in a minute. Go ahead.
My next prediction is just amazing because everybody needs it. It is actually. I'm going to switch it. Okay. Oh,
switch.
There we go. Okay, I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to go to my next one. New Smash Brothers will be shown. I think we already know it's going to be there. I think they've been kind of cagey about that, but I think it'll be shown and it'll be playable. And I think it is going to be. You don't buy the game. It is a $4.99 fee per month, and they release a new character every month, starting with 10 characters to the point where they're going to support it for the next 2-3 years.
Interesting.
Well, they have said that they said on their tweet when they announced their E3 stuff that Smash was like the main thing they're talking about, and there's an invitational tournament that same weekend. Correct. If you're at E3.
Yes.
So it will be playable.
Yes, it
will.
The
whole $4.99 thing is kind of crazy, but it would be crazy if they just do when it comes out. I had a similar thing written down where it comes out day and date with the new online infrastructure. It would be crazy if it was free on that same day.
Right.
As long as you were, if you signed up for your online stuff. So it'd be like
that would be crazy.
$3.99 a month or whatever, and you get it and go to town on people.
Yeah.
See, that would be worth it. Like that would. I mean, the online thing, I'm probably going to get it anyway. But the online thing would be worth it Like if you got Smash with it and they were updating characters and stuff.
I think it's worth it anyways because they said $20. Isn't that pretty official?
$20 for a year.
For a year, yeah.
For the online stuff, yeah.
So that is, yeah. I'm with you, Andrew. I didn't have that written down. I didn't have anything Smash written down because I think that's not really going out on a limb. No, Ivey went out on a limb with his.
Yeah, the out on the limb was the service,
right?
Pay to play service.
I could totally see that, and I could totally see them just being a normal $60 game, but it being painfully obvious to the world that hey, this game's fine, but you really need the online to make it awesome, and that's how they kind of sell their service.
They can even do it like similar. It's a $60 game, but if you're a part of our online thing, you get the character a month before it comes out or whatever.
Yeah. That doesn't sound like Nintendo, but
Nintendo's
but
wild
they've
card.
been doing some different things these days. They've been doing, and I think they've been doing some really good things, changing up some stuff. So I think it's a possibility, but anyway, we'll see.
Awesome blossom. So technically, I would be next, correct? But
yep.
I combine with you. So mine was the Pokemon November 2018, still top down. Actually, you know what? I have 4 written down. I'll pick another one. I'll pick one that I don't know that y'all would have written down. I have
a lot written down. You'd be surprised.
We'll say I think that they will announce a Fire Emblem game with a 2019 date.
Funny you should say that.
Which, by the way, just side note, a lot of the stuff I'm going to say is like, man, this game or this series has been meant for the Switch, and I think Fire Emblem is one of those.
So the only correction, I think you're totally on target with the Fire Emblem. I could see him doing it totally. Only correction I would make there is that they have come out and said that they will only be talking about games released in 2018. So it might be Fire Emblem, but it would be released in 2018.
That's what I had written down. I had Fire Emblem.
And they did not stay true to that.
Well, they did talk about Metroid Prime, I guess.
Correct.
Right?
Well, here's the thing. Last year they came out with, they had that Fire Emblem logo or whatever for the Switch, if you recall. Fire Emblem for Nintendo Switch, working title or whatever.
No, that was for that other game, though.
No, this was that same announcement. They had the...
Hold on.
But yeah, I had written down Fire Emblem December 2018.
That was for Fire Emblem Heroes, Andrew.
No, they did show that.
Not
I'm saying
Heroes,
the very
I know what I'm thinking.
Warriors, the Dynasty Warriors.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, but at the very end of the conference, it said Fire Emblem.
Okay. Cool. I don't remember this. I believe you, but I don't remember this.
I did write down Fire Emblem December 2018 because we do know they're actually working on a legit one. We just don't know. They kind of did the same thing for Pokemon, where we have a Pokemon game, we're working on a Pokemon game, whatever.
Some of this stuff seems like more with Nintendo comes out in their conference calls, like investor conference calls, like weird things come out because somebody will ask them some question. Well, what you doing about Pokemons? And they'll say,
"What about Pokemon?"
And they'll say, "Well, we have one in the works," and then all of a sudden it's a news article. So.
Yeah. And then I will say this though: it said planned for release in 2018. I'm looking at the announcement right now. So it said Fire Emblem for Nintendo Switch, in parentheses, working title, planned for release in 2018. But that was last January 2017. We hadn't heard anything since then. So it's very possible that it got pushed back, and it probably did. But
cool. So you have that for December, you said?
I had it written down Fire Emblem December 2018
nice.
As kind of like what Xenoblade was last year, where it came out like the very end of December.
Okay,
kind of fill that spot with Fire Emblem.
Cool,
maybe. So for my second one, boy, shoot, what we gonna do here? Ivy took Smash Bros. Matthew took Fire Emblem, because I was gonna do Fire Emblem. But now I gotta pick something else. Okay, I'll do this one. Fortnite announced for the Switch coming out August 2018.
I think the August thing Maybe. Totally
I'm just
possible.
spicing it up with the August thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're totally right about Fortnite.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
that's a definite.
And you'll show off your Mario skins and your Luigi skins and your whatever items and.
Yep. If you want to know the honest truth, I think you might be so right that they moved the Splatoon announcement to before E3 so that they could focus on Fortnite at E3. That sounds crazy, but that game is so huge right now. I think they want to focus on it.
I think that if they announce Fortnite, I can see what you're saying with August. It would not shock me. I think the odds are they say Fortnite out now.
It'd be crazy. But I think if they did that, it would just be like the mobile version. They just threw it on the Switch.
I mean, the mobile version is the game, though.
It is, but I think if they did
the controls are awful.
I'm feeling like a more. It'll seem like they actually kind of cared for it going on the Switch a little more.
I guess. I don't think it matters, though. I just think you say the word Fortnite and it's over at that point.
It doesn't matter.
Do you think they wait until they launch their online stuff?
No,
I don't
because
think so.
I think that you get that out before, and then it makes people buy the online stuff because you're going to have it to play.
Oh, that's right. So you get people hooked on it. Oh, I get it. It's like drugs.
Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly. Nintendo
Video
sells
games
drugs.
equals drugs. That's correct.
Nintendo's like, how can we sell drugs without calling them drugs? Fortnite.
Wow.
Fortnite. With Mario characters.
Can I interject a random sports story here? David Price is a pitcher. He has carpal tunnel in his wrist. And he also has been seen playing Fortnite in their clubhouse. So the reports are that he's got carpal tunnel because of how much Fortnite he's been playing. I thought that was pretty funny. Sorry.
Well, soon he'll be playing it on the Switch.
I hope so.
All right, that was my second one.
With motion controls?
God, I hope not.
I don't think so.
Well, they have been
HD
talking
Rumble,
about.
though.
Yeah, true.
Could you imagine if Fortnite took down his career? Because they've been talking about benching him. So, anyway.
That's true. That's true. That's funny.
All right, my turn. Is it my turn?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
My turn.
So this is kind of tricky. I think because I know Splatoon, there's a big announcement coming for Splatoon before E3 that just came out today or yesterday. But I think during E3, see, goes back to the Fortnite thing. I think they're going to say it's out. The mode is out right now. You can go play it.
On Splatoon?
So, yeah, and I think it's going to be Battle Royale. That's what
something
I think.
like it. Yeah, I think so too.
It'll be a Nintendo version. I don't know what that is exactly. Just like Team Deathmatch, Nintendo version is spraying ink everywhere, but it'll be something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I think for them to do that on Splatoon, and I don't know how much fun it would be, but I think they're going to have to stick to maybe like 32 players max. Something like that, because just the map size on Splatoon, I think is that's your issue.
Well, they do release new maps so often, so they could release it with a couple new maps too, to bring people back into Splatoon.
Right.
But I think that if Fortnite happens, that makes me think that Splatoon might not happen. Like if Fortnite is. So I'm not saying anything at all. All I'm just saying is it's weird that Splatoon is before E3. That's what's weird. Something's going on strange with that. So I don't know what it is.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Anyway.
I think, and this is not one of my predictions, I think they're going to announce some new mode that's a big deal that's not a Battle Royale. A Battle Royale would not surprise me, but I think I think Fortnite's imminent, and I don't see that being a smart move to do both those at the same time.
Yeah. I guess it all just depends how close Nintendo is working with Epic Games or whatever. Like if they're like,
right.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Cool. So am I up?
You up, boy?
All right. Well, then I'm gonna do my December release game since you picked Fire Emblem to be in December. I think
that wasn't one of my ones. It was just
was just part of our yeah. I think the December release. So you can get all the holidays, which is a perfect time to have fun on this game, will be Animal Crossing. I thought about putting it in 2019, and then you know what? I changed it simply because, man, it would be epic if they could have that out for the holiday stuff. And then if things happen the way that we've talked, that you maybe could get Smash in September, October, a Pokemon in maybe November, and Animal Crossing in December, they would destroy at the holidays.
They would, which means that Metroid would be coming out the following holiday, which would make sense.
I don't want to talk about it. It's my next announcement.
Not unless I steal it, boy.
I'm just kidding.
I can't see Animal Crossing being. I mean, I would love it. Don't get me wrong. But just the fact that Breath of the Wild and Mario was last year, and then having like a Smash and a Pokemon and an Animal Crossing this year, I think is just wishful thinking.
I think if there's a surprise this year, Animal Crossing is the one. Because I think Pokemon, I think everybody kind of expects it into this year. Smash, everybody definitely expects it in the fall. I think if they can pull off a surprise, which, to be fair, every conference or Nintendo Direct that they've had for the last 2 years, there's been surprises. Every one of them.
Well, I think getting Smash and then Fire Emblem, if they don't go back on, like if it actually is a 2018 game still, and then maybe something else, but I think that's more realistic to happen. But I hope.
Well, here's the thing. The other thing with Animal Crossing is that's another huge push for their online service, a big push. Yeah. So, I don't know.
Well, I'll go to my third one here, and it's a game that I don't even like, but it's been rumored to have been in the works for a long time, and I don't know what number they're on. Y'all will know more than me, but I just think a new Pikmin game will be announced, and I don't know if it'll come out in 2018 or what, but I think they'll announce a new Pikmin game.
Pikmin 4, and well, thanks a lot, bud. I have to go to one of my other announcements. I think you're dead on. I think Pikmin 4 will be like their kind of mid-range game. It's not like going to blow the doors off, but it's like the Yoshi's Woolly World / Kirby, whatever. Like it's that game that a really niche group of people is going to love. I think they've
done a really good job with all those games too. Like they're not. Prediction. There's a lot of Nintendo-ish, I guess more kid-ish kind of looking games that come out from other companies that tend to be not. The game's not that good. They're just trying to sell it to kids. Those Pikmin games have been really good.
No, they're legit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind.
Cool.
Sweet. No, I think you're on to something good there, which is why I also had it down. But I'll go to a different thing. Now, this one's kind of crazy. This is my final one, right? This is the third one. I'm going to go with the craziest. I think they will release a Legend of Zelda for mobile. That's what I think is going to happen. It's going to be a mobile Legend of Zelda.
I didn't even think about that. That's a good call. Would that be a Zelda game, or would that be a moving Zelda around, more of a Zelda style game, or would that be more of like a card type game or something?
Or like a puzzle game or something like Zelda Puzzle Poppers.
Zelda's Puzzle Poppers.
Tingle.
No, it would be Zelda.
Poppin'.
It would be Zelda.
Let me ask you this: for Zelda and Pikmin, are those, do you think 2018 or beyond?
I think Zelda definitely comes out in 2018.
If it's a mobile game, I think so.
Yeah. Would be for the mobile game. I think Pikmin actually would be 2019, early 2019, but I don't know for sure. But I think, I don't know. But I think Zelda on mobile makes sense, and it's like of their big franchises, like the one they haven't put out yet, I think. So they got Animal Crossing out. Obviously, Pokemon's kind of weird, but it's not really them. But Pokemon Go, I think they make money off of Pokemon Go. But anyway,
sure do.
You got Pokemon, you got Animal Crossing, you have Mario, you have Heroes. What's it called? We were just talking about it. Oh my gosh,
Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem Heroes.
Oh, Fire Emblem.
Yeah. Now, Super Smash on mobile would be horrible, but that would be insane. People, I don't know what to think about that. But yeah, I think a Zelda game is imminent. I think it might be like a room puzzle. Sorry, I hit my mute button. I think it might be like a dramatic
What's
pause.
Not everything just broke.
I think it might be like, it wouldn't surprise me if it's like a dungeon game. So like, Zelda Pocket Dungeon or something like that. And you go into dungeons and solve puzzles. And it's like it's a kind of top down Zelda game.
Or temple
What are
run.
what are those puzzles called? That's just like 3 rows of 3 squares, and you have to make a picture out of it. You know what I'm talking about?
Picture out of it?
It's like 3 rows of 3 squares, but there's 1 square missing, so you have to like
you
move them
slide
around.
them around.
I hate those.
Like,
Those little
it's
slide
just-
puzzles.
That's what it is. It's Zelda slide puzzles, and it's just like
Oh my
100 of them in a row.
That's the worst. I bet you that game actually exists on Android.
Yep,
so you
probably.
can probably find it.
Yep. Yeah, no,
right, Matthew.
they could do a Zelda like temple run stylish games, whatever that next evolution is, and do a rupee runner.
Rupee run. I like
That
puzzle
sounds
poppers.
horrible.
Get popping. Zelda's puzzle popping.
Well, you have Tingle with his balloons, and
Yep.
you pop his balloons.
Pop his
Makes
balloons.
perfect sense.
But and then you have to announce it like they would, like Zelda's whatever puzzle poppers.
Well, that would only be if it's for Switch too.
It's irrelevant.
But hey.
It doesn't matter. You snap all the time now. I'm just kidding. Okay, so nobody even really went for the Metroid.
I had it written down, but
I'm gonna say Metroid 4, and I think this is the one I'm most confident in. I went backwards on this one. This is one I think I'm most confident in. I'm gonna say this is the one that they said, hey, we're not going to say anything outside of 2018, and then they say, hey, March 2019, Metroid Prime 4. So
Debbie.
That is possible because their fiscal year starts in March, and
It
so
does.
when they say this year, maybe they mean fiscal.
Yeah.
And as we've been talking about their online service for a while coming out, that's a game they need to space out from their online service because it got nothing to do with it.
Or does it?
Mm.
Leaderboards or something maybe, but other than that, the main core of that game should have nothing to do really with online. I wouldn't think, unless they try to get crazy with it. But
Yeah, please don't. I hated the multiplayer on
Yeah.
Metroid Prime 2.
Right.
It was the worst.
yeah, it's just a good single player game. So
Yep.
So yeah, I'm gonna say March for that.
I think it's entirely possible for it to come out anytime this year or next year, for sure.
I agree.
So-
I'm actually thinking it'd be next holiday, but
I
yeah.
can
It
see
could be
that. I
March.
could see it.
So I have some ones that don't count, but I want to say I did end with a Metroid 4 trailer.
I think so.
I think
too.
it'd be like an actual story trailer or whatever, just like say 2019 or something. But
that is totally within the realm of possibility. Maybe big time.
I had a bunch. I just put 3DS crapness, and what that means is that they announce a bunch of 3DS games that we don't care about, and then there's always that one 3DS game they announce where I'm like, why isn't that on the Switch? And it upsets me. So that'll happen again.
Yes, it will.
Mass Effect
And
trilogy.
they will.
Okay, go on.
I was going to say, and they will talk about how wonderful the 3DS is and how it's not going away, and everybody would just be like, "Why?"
And probably announce a new 3DS or 2DS
They probably
that comes
will, a
out
new-
in like.
Yes.
I had Mass Effect trilogy coming out for the Switch. New
Wow,
Switch
yeah.
Joy-Cons.
Ah,
And
always.
like colors. You mean colors or like?
I mean
different?
like different, like not just colors. Like it's the rumor, like this one has GameCube buttons or this one has Super Nintendo buttons
here's a
on it or something
question.
cool like that.
Here, what do you guys think if they do a Pokemon game? Do you think it'll be one Pokemon game or two?
It'll be 2.
You think it'll be
I don't
two?
think they
So if
stop.
they have
They
two,
sell
would
too
they
much.
come out with Joy-Cons that are those two colors?
Very
yeah.
possible.
In each, yeah, totally.
Cool.
But yeah, they sell too much to just go to one game. And then I think my only other one was Persona 4 Golden coming to the Switch. That's it.
That'd be cool. I had a couple bonuses. I had mine. Isn't this special? But I said an N64 Classic will be announced, which would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fairly possible. I know that the chipset is powerful that they use for the Nintendo or the NES Classic was powerful enough to
Right.
run a Wii, so they could definitely do N64. But anyway, And then the other one was Beyond Good and Evil will be announced as a 2019 release. Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah, I can see
2.
that. That'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Those are my
for
only
the Switch?
bonuses. Oh, no. This is bonuses overall.
Oh, okay. I hadn't gotten to my
gotcha.
bonuses overall yet.
Oh, okay. I thought we were on bonuses.
Oh, no. We're still on Nintendo bonuses.
Oh, I didn't have any.
Nintendo.
I have one Nintendo bonus. You ready? They talk about coming this holiday a Switch 1.1, which is just a little bit bigger screen and better battery life.
Okay. I don't think so, but I would not be shocked either.
I think that'll happen. I don't think it'll happen at E3.
Right.
But yeah.
The only other bonus that I have for Nintendo is I would not be surprised to see a GTA 5 port.
It's true. Could happen. So, for all these others being Square Enix has one, Ubisoft, EA, Bethesda. Is there another one that I'm missing? Those 4 for sure. Do y'all have enough written down there, or were those just y'all just had bonuses?
I have
for those?
4 things written down. One from Square, one from EA, one from Ubisoft, and then one that I just wanted to be announced somewhere there. I don't care.
Okay. What about you, Ivy?
I have one thing from Ubisoft, but
All
Yeah,
right,
go
so
for
we
it.
just want to go through
So we
these
don't
like we
steal-
have been, or just these just be bonuses?
So we don't steal Ivy's. Let's go with him first.
I was gonna
this
say
one-
I think
No,
I'm so confused.
you go first.
I was thinking that Assassin's Creed would have. I have it written down. Let me read it. Oh, did I delete it? I must have deleted it. Assassin's Creed will have a timed exclusive for Xbox.
Ooh,
I think they'll pay
shoot.
for it.
If there's a timed exclusive, I can see Assassin's Creed being the one. I can see that.
All right, that's the only prediction I had for the other
What
conferences.
you got, Andrew?
I think Bethesda announces Fallout. One of the Fallouts, whether it's a remake of one or whether it's just the last one that came out, comes to the Switch.
Ooh, I would love that.
That would be cool.
You got one, or you want me to keep going?
Just do all yours. That's fine.
I also have Bethesda announcing Elder Scrolls 6, possibly.
I thought about that.
Yeah.
There, I have them announcing Rage 2, which has been somewhat leaked, but coming out in 2018. I have Square doing Kingdom Hearts 3 spring 2019, and then the Mac Daddy, the Shenmue 3 of this one, for me at least, Left 4 Dead 3 announced somewhere. I don't know where it'd be announced, but
amazing. I
also
honestly think there's a higher chance of a remake of Left 4 Dead 2.
before
Or
Shenmue
remaster.
3, it was like Left 4 Dead 3, Shenmue 3, and like I just want a Phantasy Star online on something that I can play.
Yep.
So Shenmue's already happened. So and Phantasy Star doesn't seem that wouldn't be an E3 thing. It'd be like I don't know what it'd be. But yeah, so the one that would make me cry while I sleep in my van at night on tour would be Left 4 Dead 3.
That's true. You were all about those games, man. I actually did put that's the very last thing I wrote, and it's not a prediction. It's a hopes and dreams, and that is you just briefly mentioned it, and that would be a Phantasy Star Online 2 in English somewhere. I do think if that happens somewhere, it happens at Sony.
I don't care where it
But
happens.
I don't think it's
Just
gonna
make
happen.
it happen.
I would. Yep. Now, if they announced that at Microsoft, I would consider getting an Xbox. That's how much I love that game. So, or at least borrowing a friend's.
I do have one more prediction.
Go for it.
Actually, funky mode, funky mode in Assassin's Creed. That was my actual prediction. Where Funky Kong comes to Assassin's Creed.
It just surfs everywhere.
Yeah,
Oh, my
he can't be hurt.
He can't be killed.
Can't be killed. He can't be
Can't be killed.
Tweet at us
Everybody's
if you know what movie that's from.
He can't be killed.
I don't even know if Ivy knows what movie that's from. Do you?
I don't.
Cool. All right. Well, you
What?
you can't tweet at us. No, I want to see if people actually tweet at us. I'll tell you after we're done recording. I do have. Let's see for this. Were you done, Andrew?
Yep.
I had for the Square conference. I think that that's where they'll say that the Final Fantasy VII remake 2019. I think that at the EA conference they will announce a new Dragon Age game. No date given or anything of that nature.
Yeah.
I hope so. And then out of all the stuff that was leaked, you can choose whether to believe what you do or not. The only thing that made the most sense to me would be a Splinter Cell game. It's been a while since they've done a Splinter Cell game, and I think it'll be 2019 too.
I think that's going to happen. It's been heavily rumored. The problem with Final Fantasy VII is same guy that did the same main dude, or I don't know what his name is, some Japanese name that I can't pronounce, that did Final Fantasy 15 is the one that's working on Kingdom Hearts 3. Also the same guy is working on Final Fantasy 7.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why Final Fantasy 15 took so long, and that's why Kingdom Hearts 3 is taking so long. I don't think Final Fantasy 7 is going to come out for another 4 years, at least.
I think
forever.
I think people are hoping and holding their breath that it comes out holidays of this year, and I just think it's holidays.
Problem is, if it comes out in the next 2 years, it's going to be really crappy, I think, unless there's another team working on it, or I don't know.
Well, newsflash, there's a lot of better Final Fantasy games out there anyways.
Any other predictions?
Racking my brain.
I don't think I have any. I think I've predicted everything. My crystal ball has broken.
So this by the time we're recording this,
it is.
It won't be
10th.
out. Yeah. So this episode won't be out till a week from when we're recording this. So if any E3 news breaks from here on out, if anything breaks that we predicted, we get points.
We broke it.
We get points.
I gotcha.
We
after
broke
E3, we'll see how what we said stacked up or whatever, as well as there'll be a Twitter poll, and you can vote for who you liked the most or what you think's going to happen. Doesn't really matter as long as you get voting.
Yep.
Or whoever had the best predictions. And we realized at this time there was a lot of leaks that happened, especially thanks to Walmart Canada.
Thank you, Walmart.
And that will be
Thanks,
talked about
Canada.
at the time that you hear this. Last week's Log On Weekly, I'm sure we'll talk about that. So,
That's true.
check all those goodies out.
That's
Follow
true.
us at Podcast Log On. Vote on the Twitter poll. Rate us on iTunes. And we'll be back in 2 weeks with another Battle Royale.
Yep.
So we'll catch you on the flippities.
See ya.
Peace.
The flippity flip.